Salute everybody. What up, what up, what up? It's your boy ZYIR, BattleThon Ent. BattleThon Ent. Salute, y'all. You know I'm here with this power recap. Yo, this episode was dope. Just as dope as last week, maybe even more. Maybe even more. It's a lot going on in this episode. As you can see a lot going on in this episode. The episode is Power Book 2, Ghost, Episode 9, titled Monster. Alright? So, boom. Opening scene, right? Kane and Guapo are cutting up a body. Kane is full of excitement. You can tell he's smiling. He's picking parts up. He's cheesing. Now, laughing and then dumping it in the barrel. So Guapo's looking at him like he's insane, but he's behind Kane. So Kane doesn't really notice the looks. Following scene, Tariq wakes up to his phone going off. 2-Bit saying, yo, 50,000 this time, for saving your life. So Tariq looks in his stash and, he realizes like, damn, this is not enough. Reaches out to his lawyer, Davis, to let him know he'll be late with a payment. So you could tell Davis fakes him out. He's like, all right, cool. Well, there's an expert witness, and I guess I just won't be able to give them to your mom because you can't afford the payments. So then Tariq is like, no, I'll figure it out. And then basically, also to make it hard for Tariq because him and Sax want to bring him down. Zeke is at Professor Milgram's crib. Right? She keeps asking him, they laying in bed, whatever. He gets up. So then she's like, yo, she sees the bruises or whatever on him. So she keeps asking him about the bruises. He throws her off, tries to ignore her, brush it off, but she keeps insisting. Yo, I'm a professor. I trust you with my career. How could you trust me with anything? Just, So he goes to explain, yo, me and my boys went out to celebrate after a game the other day at the club. We spent the block and we saw these dudes. I saw some old dudes that said they knew me from the neighborhood when we was younger. They wanted a picture. I gave it to them and then they jumped me. She's like, oh my God, see, it's so terrible. And then he mentions GTG. He says GTD. And then she's like, oh, so you know them. That's the part where I feel like Zeke didn't really have to say anything. He really didn't have to say anything. He goes to explain to her, yo, they put a gun to my knee, almost ruined everything, but it misfired, right? And Professor Milgram is like, well, if you should think about telling the police, and don't worry about it. I can help you. I'll figure something out. And he's just like, nah, I can't keep doing all that. Boom. But to remind you guys, Kerry is an ex-prosecutor. Professor Milgram is an ex-prosecutor. So, just pay attention, guys, right? So a detective, played by Laz Alonso, he comes to the school to interview the teachers about the murder in the pool. He tells the teachers, yo, being that y'all have very little information on this person who was murdered in your school, who didn't attend, we want to interview everybody who may have a similar background as the person who was murdered. So then Professor Milgram realizes, like, okay, so you're trying to go after the black kids. Then Jabari jumps in, Professor Reynolds. He's trying to make it seem like, oh my God, you're going after these black kids. Granted, right? So what she does is she says, why don't you guys allow me to interview the students? And then, Jabari jumps in, I'll help too. Because, Laz Alonso, the detective, he's basically saying, well, Professor Milgram, given your busy schedule, would you actually be able to handle that amount of students? And then, Jabari jumps in, well, actually, no, I'm Jabari Reynolds, and I could definitely help Professor Milgram carry out this task and interview these students so they can have some type of protection and confidentiality, right? So, now, boom. So Tariq goes to the bar. before he gets there, Drew's telling Monique that they need more help. He mentions, yo, mom, you know, if Kane was here, she's like, yo, don't mention his name. Don't mention his name. Tariq comes in, and he's on some like, hey, how you doing? Yo, this, and this. I need more. And Kane needs it. She's like, yo, listen, we don't need no help. I got it. Don't worry about it. You'll take care of this. He's like, this not even my regular order. She's like, yo, don't worry about it. So Tariq speaks to his mom or whatever. And he tells her the issues with Monet. He's on the phone with Tosh while she's in jail. She's on the burner phone. So Tariq is telling, you know, the issues with Monet are the issues are done. Like, we don't have nothing to worry about. So Tosh is like, what are you talking about? He was like, oh, that was her son. So Tosh is like, can you trust her? Like, I still don't trust her. So Tariq is like, ma, don't worry about it. Like, it's good. Don't worry about it. And then so then Tariq tells Tosh, like, yeah, I'm selling work on campus, and Tosh is like, nah, like, you can't do that. You're crazy. You'll get in trouble. Tariq like, yo, ma, I gotta go. So Tariq is in class. Professor Reynolds is telling everyone about the investigation being conducted by him and Carrie, Professor Milgram, and he's letting the students know, don't worry about it. They're trying to basically talk about, but how he does it with the students is he asks them about Frankenstein. And when they all break down what a monster to them is in Frankenstein, you get a chance to see Brashonda coming to the defense of black people by saying that white people bought us, sold us after we worked hard and we did all of these things, and they just come and treat us like nothing, kill us and everything. And then Lauren, she's like, yeah, but I feel like this is what it is. And then Professor Reynolds was actually using that book to lead into them being able to loosen up, so he can tell them, yo, we're handling the investigation of the kid by the pool, and if there's anything that you guys know that you don't want to talk to the police about, you can talk to me about. So he's like softening them up for this. So Tasha gets a cell search, and it wasn't warranted by the FBI, but she gets a visit to the cell by the guy. Basically, she gets a visit to her cell by Tejada's inside dude for her female prison. It's the same dude that was setting up the surveillance cameras, I believe, in like the third or fourth episode or something. Maybe even sooner than that. Maybe like the second or third episode. He's setting up the surveillance cameras so he could basically spy on her. He was fronting like he was, but he was holding the phone so that way he can record her for Lorenzo. But he comes to the cell real quick. He snatches her cell because, he works in the jail, so he knows when they're going to have shakedowns. So he's like, yo, just give me your burners. He's like, Tasha's basically like, yo, if I give this to you, can you give me another one? Like, I need my burner. He's like, yeah, I got you. Don't worry about it. So they shake her shit down or whatever. They don't find anything, right? Because she's already on point. She got people on the inside. Now, let me a second. I'm tell you this dude, man. Where we at? Hold on 1 second. I'll tell you right now. What's his name? See my man's name. Okay, where we at? I believe it's Steven. Right. So Sachs's assistant, Sachs' boss, for the FBI, Steve. He presses Saxe after Tasha gets her cell searched because he says, yo, why am I hearing that you had Tasha's cell searched, Mrs. St. Patrick's cell searched? And he's like, yeah, because I got word and I got tip that if I had her cell searched, it would potentially turn up a burner phone. So then Steve is like, oh, which it didn't. But at the same time, what you have is something that was unwarranted on a federal inmate that's actually on trial for something right now. You're ruining that. And we're trying to nail her, but you're going after her son. So then he's basically telling him like, yo, get your shit together, right? Professor Milgram is in her office looking at a picture of Zeke. Next scene. And his family. You see Monet, you see Drew, you see Kane, you see Diane, right? And I believe you see Zeke's coach in the picture. On the back it says Tejada, Lorenzo Tejada. Then she Googles it. Now Professor Milgram sees the article. Lorenzo Tejada, known for his affiliation with the gang GTG, which is the same name that Zeke mentioned to her when he said he got jumped. That is the only thing I feel like he messed up on when he said that. I noticed he's been really he's not good at stopping himself from speaking the first few words that he wants to say of a sentence. He's not good at stopping himself because he's always saying things and then he'll pause up and freeze up. But he definitely mentioned GTD. I feel like that ruined. Not ruined, but I feel like he could have explained the story without having to say. He could have said some guys from back in the day. I don't really know who they are. I can't remember their names, but he could have did anything, but he didn't do that. So now Jabari comes in and he just bulges in. Boom. He doesn't even knock. So now Professor Milgram's all nervous and shit like that. So now he comes in, he grabs the picture. He's like, Ezekiel, boom, boom, boom. So he's looking at it. He's like, who is this? You know these people? And she's like, yeah, that's his family. So now he's looking at the picture and he sees Drew. He remembers Drew from when he was making the drop off, and Drew was talking to Tariq about DC Joe. This is when he was on his phone and he was watching him because he had just previously texted Professor Milgram asking her, yo, where are you? And she said, I'm meeting with a student. She thought that Tariq was the student she was meeting with, but Tariq was meeting with Drew. Boom, right? He tells her, yeah. So then Professor Milgram, like, you notice somebody in these pictures? He's like, nope, I don't notice nobody. Okay, have a good night. Then he walks out, straight creep. So Drew goes to see Kane and asks him, yo, why do you take our corner boys? Like, why would you take our corner boys? You know what I mean? So he's basically telling him, like, yo, bro, if Monet wants to run, if Monet wants to run with, Tariq and pick him and do all this extra stuff, then, I'm going to run the streets. So Drew's like, yo, we need you for the drop. So Kane is not trying to hear that. Guapo walks by and Drew says to Kane, why is he still breathing? After what he did to Zeke, after what he did to me. Kane says, so he's breathing because he's loyal. Then he says to him, yo, but what is it, Drew? Because it's either you with me or you against me. So Drew was so thrown off by that. Walks out. Boom. Next scene. So Diane is actually tell you guys right now, they're at the table. Diane says to Drew, so she says, what did you say to him when he said that? Nothing. And he's like, what was I supposed to do? So then Monet was like, shoot all of them motherfuckers. Shoot all of them. So then Drew was like, all of them? Even Kane? So then he was so confused, like, you wanted me to shoot Kane too? I told you not to say that name. So then Diane is telling Monet. So Drew's like, but Kane, I told Kane that he got me effed up. And I think you do too. You're trying to make me like him, right? So Diane's like, yo, Drew, fall back. He's like, nah, like XYZ, like this is what I gotta do. You know what I mean? I'm doing as much as I can. So then Monet like, yo, I understand that, you know, there's a lot going on, but you gotta put aside all of that, and this is what you gotta deal with. So then Drew's like, all right, whatever. He gets up, walk away from the table. So Diane is telling Monet she don't think that Tariq's bricks would be enough. Tasha tells the lawyer that she wants to be moved due to a cell search. So Davis says no, right? She sees that Davis and Paula, his assistant, the one he's sleeping with, has a relationship. Because when she jumps in to say, so Davis, when were you planning on telling me about this expert witness? So then Paula goes to say something. Davis intervenes. The gesture he makes is he puts his hand on top of hers. Because Tasha's a wife, a mother, a woman, she notices this gesture. She pays attention to it, and she looks at it weird, like, so Paul is lying to me, right? This is what she gets out of it. So Saxon Tariq's lawyer go and see someone who used to work for Tasha. Now, when Steven realized that Sax had Angela's cell tossed, and he realized like he's getting a little bit too out of control, he calls an agent and tells the agent, I need you to follow him. So the agent is taking pictures of Sax and Davis while they're at this lady's house, and this lady happens to be Epiphany, which is Tasha's friend that was working with Tasha. They go in, they get information on Tasha, they try to get her to give Tasha up. She's like, yo, I don't have no information, y'all trying to get me on the stand and snitch. But how they flip it on her is they tell her, oh, don't worry about it, Tasha knows, and this is going to help Tasha, and also we can help you. So then she's basically like, okay, so what can I do? You know what I mean? What can I do? Alright, so now that Professor Milgram did her own little investigation on Lorenzo Tejada, GTG, now she's at the point where she is pressing Zeke even further. You understand what I'm saying? He tells, because what she does is she correlates it to, like, okay, the kid in the pool, GTG, Zeke did mention that. All right, cool. So Zeke, maybe you should come forward, because if you don't and something happens and they find out GTG is correlated with your family, but you didn't say anything about the incident where you got jumped by GTG, they could say that you actually withheld information, that you could go to jail, and you didn't want to be prosecuted, and just all of the stuff, right? Mind you, she was an ex-prosecutor, right? So Zeke gets up. He's like, yo, I'm not about to implicate my family, do none of that. He looks strong. Like, ooh, Zeke. Because usually around Professor Milgram, he's weak. Around Carrie, he's weak. But not today. Not today. I'm glad that, you know, he won't give them up that easy. But he's still loose at the mouth. He still be talking too much. So Tasha tells Paula to come see her, right? She tells her, I know you were covering for Davis, and he is lying about an expert witness. So she says, I know you lied because you're sleeping with him. Now, how long have you been waiting for him to leave his wife? So Paula's looking at him like, what? Paula says, that's none of your business. Then turns as if she's about to walk away. But then Tasha says, yeah, it's none of my business, just like it's none of yours, because he's actually married to somebody else. So then she gets up, and then she stands up and she says, you know, Paula turned around, looked at her, shocked that she said that about him being married. So now Tasha goes in and she's like, you know, my husband had an affair I kept lying for him too. You know, and now you see the woman to woman conversation, you know, like Tasha feels for her. And then Paula feels for Tasha because she's like, damn, like the situation you were in, I am in. So she has Tasha, you know, Tasha got her. So now Tasha knows about them sleeping. Tasha's letting her know, like, I know that you sleep with her. Then she said, even Angela lied for him, and look what happened with Angela, you know. So then Paula was like, okay, cool, your expert witness is Dr. Epiphany Turner. So Tasha laughs, what? Epiphany ain't no damn doctor, she's a stripper. Paula looked mad, confused, like, what are you talking about? It says she's a doctor. She didn't tell Tasha that Sachs is calling her to the stand and she just got arrested for cocaine. So Tasha realizes that she's going to tell, like, damn, they're trying to press her so she can tell. So she's like, okay, cool, Paula, I need you to speak to Tariq and let Tariq know that Tasha is just like Slim. And if Tariq remembers Slim, then Tasha, you know, then Tariq will know he has to treat Epiphany the same way that he would treat Slim. So he's basically secretly telling, she's basically giving Paula secret instructions to go and tell Tariq to kill Epiphany, right? So Sachs' boss tells Sachs that he has to bring down Davis. He tells him, yo, you have to bring down Davis, Tasha's lawyer, and he must bring down Tasha. He says big time African American lawyer in cahoots with an FBI attorney to bust a young kid. As much as Sachs wants Tariq, his boss said he doesn't care. He gave him an ultimatum. You nail Davis or I'm going to take you down and I'm taking him down. So Zeke is telling Monet, in the next scene, you know, I might have to come out and say what happened because, you know, my career will be ruined. If the police find out the body in the pool is linked back to us, I might have to distance myself from y'all. So Monet's like, yo, chill, you're not yourself right now. He's like, yo, Professor Milgram, he telling Monet, Professor Milgram said I could talk to her confidentially. She'll cover for me. So his aunt was like, oh, Carrie, yeah, y'all was real friendly. So Zeke is like, oh, no, that's just my academic advisor. Monet says to Diane, what do you know? So now Zeke is walking away. So she's like, yo, spend the night. And he was like, all right, cool. I mean, all right, cool. Of course I'll spend the night. So he's walking away. Diane, hi, Zeke, I didn't know you was here. Hey, what's up? So she could tell, like, he's feeling a little bit funny. So, Monet says to Diane, yo, what do you know about Professor Milgram? Diane is like, I don't know. Let me find. She's like, let me find out. I did find something in Tariq's book bag that I thought was for Tariq, but I think it was for Zeke. So the cops are asking Professor Reynolds and Milgram if they yielded anything from the interviews. She tells them about Zeke's incident, but then it goes quickly into the other scene. Like she's getting ready to. She pauses because Laz Alonso asks her, Professor Milgram, what did your results yield? So Jabari already said, yo, my results didn't yield anything. Can we go? Professor Milgram pauses. She was like, yeah. A student went out. This happened. What was the name of the? And then it goes blank. Like obviously GTG. She probably says, right. So now this scene right here where you see Paula talking to Tariq, right? Paula is talking to Tariq and she goes to tell Tariq that you must treat Epiphany like Slim. Tariq knows what he has to do, right? No, this is not the scene. It's not it. So Monet pulls up to Professor Milgram's office. This is the part that was fire. So this is this scene right here. This is this one right here. She pulls up to the office. She pulls up to the office on Professor Milgram. You see what that says? I suggest you keep your mouth shut. Right? So she goes to see Professor Milgram. She lets Carrie know off the rip. So Professor Milgram's like, oh, it's late. She's like, wait. She's like, yeah, I think it might be inappropriate for you to be here. She was like, inappropriate? Oh, like you sleeping with Zeke. So Monet hits her with, and you didn't think anybody would find out. So Carrie's like, hold on, what does he tell you? Monet closed the door. Boom. She's like, yo, if you want to keep your job, keep your mouth shut about whatever you think you know. And if Zeke gets in any trouble over this swimming pool incident, your name is going to be the first name that I speak out of my mouth. Do you hear me? Do I make myself clear? Carrie, nervous and shit. She's scared. What's scary, though, is that she's an ex-prosecutor. So, while all of this is going on, in my head, I'm like, yo, who is Shorty going to reach out to? You know, because you know how things are. When you're in one profession, but people, you know, you're known for having this other skill or this other career before the one that you have at the moment. When something has happened to you or pressure is put on you or there's a situation where you or someone close to you needs help, I'm always sitting back watching like, yo, are they going to call their old Army friends? Are they going to call their old Navy friends, old SWAT friends? In her case, she practiced law. She was a prosecutor. So in my head, I'm like, yo, who does she know at the prosecutor's office? Who does she know in New York? Who does she know anywhere? Like, ex-prosecutor, you prosecute a lot of cases. Who do you know? So this is my thing. Like, I'm like, damn, Monet's smart for pressing her and letting her know, like, yo, I know you fucked your student. So what ruins things for Carrie is Professor Milgram, Carrie Milgram. What ruins things for her really badly is Zeke, because even though she would so much like to help him, it's like, sis, how do you tell everybody that you want to help this kid because his family's X, Y, and Z, but you're sleeping with him? So are you doing this because you were sleeping with him? Because under normal circumstances, would you have even cared about going after his family? You know, it's just really conflicting. It's very conflicting. It's insane. I'm like, yo, I don't know what. Just shorty, just give it up. So Tariq goes to Epiphany house and she tells him, yo, that your lawyer was here with Sachs. I thought they told you. So then he's looking like, oh shit. He start piecing everything together in his head. But mind you, Tasha gave him strict instructions. Go and take care of Epiphany like you would take care of Slim. That's exactly what Paula was instructed to do. Go and tell Tariq that, and she told him. Tariq is at Epiphany's house with... He's there, ready. He got the gun. He's ready to shoot her. Epiphany's so hood, boogerish, and ghetto. She's talking. She don't even notice that he got his back turned, right? So she's like, damn, I wish I had the money to leave, but I didn't know. I don't know where to go. So Tariq stops in his tracks and starts thinking. You know what I mean? It's apparent he has decided, you can see, like, he's thinking to himself, like, damn, I don't really want to kill her. So previously, in this episode, one scene that I didn't mention, it was a very quick scene. Brayden and Tariq go to see Effie because the work that Monet gave them is basically coke. That's not their regular order, but it's a lot of it. So what they can do is go and get a high tax on the product from the students at Choke. So Brayden is like, yo, fuck it, let's go with Effie with all of this work. We go over there, she can price it high, and we can make a lot of money. So then Tariq's like, alright, cool. So they meet with Effie or whatever. So Effie's like looking at Brayden like, why you bring him? So she hands him the money. She's like, alright, cool, where's the work? He's like, oh, thank you very much. I'm gonna take this to the car. Tariq has the work. She's like, Brayden. He walks away so he can leave Tariq and Effie alone. So they get to talking and everything like that. Tariq is like, yo, I just need to do something, and I really don't want to do it. I'm not a monster. I'm seriously not. So then Effie steps in and says, listen, Tariq, we're both monsters. I was a monster the day that I gave you up and got you kicked out of Choke. I knew that. So the sooner that you accept it, the better off you'll be. So, and in the midst of all of this, Tariq is thinking, he's like, damn, do I really want to kill her? He just told Effie, I don't want to do this. I'm not a monster. What he does is so Ghost. There's so much of Ghost. Like, he's his father's son so much because Ghost gave Holly an ultimatum, trying to get her out of here. Yo, here, I'll give you this money. Get out of town. Get out of town. Go. So much like his father, he stops. I don't want to kill her. You know what? She did just say she wanted money. She doesn't have it. So he gives her the money that he's supposed to give Monet for Rena. Now, his father, like I said, the reason why he's so much like his father, because, you know, with everything that was going on with Ghost and Tommy at that time, when Holly was there, especially with her to certain things, it would have made things a lot more difficult if Holly wound up missing. So Ghost was strategic enough to say, you know, here, I know my friend likes you. I know this is going on. There's too much going on. I don't need any distractions any more than what I have. This is my partner. I need him on point. You gotta go. Take this money and bounce. She looking at her like, oh, I can't stand you, but she took the money and she left, right? So in court, the judge is saying, yo, Mr. Sachs, you know, where's your witness? Where's your witness, Mr. Sachs? So he's like, yo, I don't know what's going on. Everything was fine. Yeah. So Tasha's nervous as hell because Tasha's in there. She's like, oh my God, like, what happened with Tariq? Did he pull it off? Did he do it? I know that's what she's thinking in her head. You can tell she's a nervous wreck. So this is okay. So the judge says, Mr. Sachs, what's going on? What are we doing? So the Sachs is like, yo, can I have a 10-minute recess? He's like, all right, cool. Boom. So Davis meets Sachs in the bathroom. Sachs tells Davis that he believes that he has something to do with Epiphany not showing up. So then Sachs says, yo, my office has the vlogs, the logs from Paula going to see Tasha. So then Davis says, I don't know anything about that. And Davis tries to threaten Sachs with, you know, knowing he was at Truth the night of. Davis tried to threaten him. He tried to threaten Sachs, telling Sachs, I know about you being at Truth the night of the St. Patrick murder. And Sachs is like, okay, cool. You got proof of that? He's like, well, it's not. You don't really have proof. He's like, but this right here. So then Sachs pulls out a picture of him and Davis going to interrogate Epiphany together, which is a conflict of interest for two lawyers who are basically working against each other, to be outside working with each other, and also going to talk to a witness that wasn't cleared by anybody. They just going to speak to her off the books, totally against, all of this shit is against the law. Everything they're doing is against the law right now. So Davis is like, looks at him at Epiphany's house, and Sachs is telling him like, yo, bro. Davis is like, so you set me up? Sachs is going along with it, even though he knows it was really Steven, his boss, who sent the agent to take pictures of him. But he's using this to his advantage to see if Davis really did set him up, because he really believes that Davis set him up, because he doesn't trust him. They didn't trust each other from the beginning, which is crazy. It's like, y'all don't even trust each other, but y'all are so eager to take one person down. That's insane. That's insane. I'm not working with you if I don't trust you. I don't care. Like, that doesn't even make sense. And how do you want to take somebody down that bad? It's crazy. So, Sachs tells him, yo, I will go public with this picture. Your career will be over. And so will Paula's career will be over. Let me show y'all this. Insane. Show y'all this picture. Oh, man. Him, Sachs going at it. Oh, it was hilarious. Look at him. He's so bad. He's tight. He is pissed. Look at his face. He's pissed. But now this is the thing, right? This is what got me. So, look, double crossing. Look at he called him double crossing. Nefarious mother effer. Double crossing, nefarious mother effer. Yo, Method Man is funny. Method Man is funny. Let me add another joint on here so y'all can see this. So y'all can see a different angle of it. Double crossing nefarious. He said, well, you don't have proof. So this is what Sachs is telling him. Like, you don't got proof that I was at Truth, but I got proof that you was at this house. So, boom. So they both. So Davis now he realizes like, damn, I really have my back against the wall now because, not only is Epiphany not here, and this makes it worse for us, but you also have proof that I was doing something I wasn't supposed to be doing, which could get me removed. And it's bad enough that he's black, so it's like, you know, all this time he's been able to acquire large amounts of money and be able to stay under the radar, get away with any little sneaky, creepy things that lawyers may do on the side to get extra money. He's been getting away for it for a while, but now it's like a lot of dirt is starting to come out, and this case is very serious. So he's getting his hands too dirty. So they walk back into court. Sachs' boss said, "You better have something up." So he tells me, "Oh, Steven, shut up, sit down." David says to Paula, "Why didn't you tell me about Epiphany?" Paula says, "Tell me the truth." So he says, "Yo, I was trying to protect you. You know, we're trying to go after Tariq. We know that he killed his father. We have proof that he did." He says, we didn't want to tell you. We wanted to protect you." He's like, "Yo, please help me with this. This stuff right here is crazy." And she's telling him like, "Yo, bro, you were never with me. You had a wife. Like, the reason why you didn't tell me is because you were thinking about yourself. And just like right now, you're thinking about yourself, but you have a wife." You know what I mean? So Korbalev comes back in, brings Kor back into session. Sachs says, I would like to ask Tariq St. Patrick to come to the stand." Everybody in court, what's going on? Tariq's mom, Tasha, is tripping. Like, what? Can he do that? Can he do that? So Davis looks at her. He just did. Now, Davis is so caught up in his feelings as a lawyer. The way he responded to his client, for me, would have been, I would have been looking like, something's not right. There's no way he's supposed to be talking to me like that. So basically, they have to subpoena Tariq. That's what, you know, the judge says, "Yo, well, this person is not admitted as part of, you know, a case, evidence, or anything of that matter. We will have to subpoena." All right, cool, no problem. Tasha puts him on game. She calls him. She says, "Yo, did you finish your homework?" That's code word for, did you get rid of Epiphany, right? So he says, "No, but you don't got to worry about it." Tasha like, "What are you talking about? Nobody's coming to testify, and you have nothing to worry about." She's like, "Well, what does that mean? Explain." I gotta go. Hangs up. Tasha's in suspense now, right? Next scene, Guapo comes in with a new shipment and brings out some bottles, whatever. So, Kane looking at it like, "What's this? This is Monet's shipment." Guapo's like, he just shrugs his shoulder. Kane pulls the gun out off his waist so fast and presses it to him real quick. "Yo, you trying to steal my family's product?" He's like, no. Rico get that to me. He said he looking for new distro. Kane like, "What? Rico gave this to you?" He said he's looking for new distro. I said, "Yeah." So Kane is like, "Oh man," he starts realizing that you gotta understand, these dudes from the street. So, you're doing business with somebody for so long and nothing is going wrong and everything is alright, and they don't really know anything on their end, then there's no reason to look for new distro. The minute that somebody's starting to look for new distro, that means they're trying to cut you out the game. And if they're trying to cut you out the game, if they know you're gonna walk away, still make money, but potentially step on their toes, they're gonna kill you. If they feel like you could walk away and make a lot of noise walking away, they're definitely going to kill you. And it, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, very rare a person's going to let you walk away, especially when they know the talents that you have, which are similar to theirs, because y'all are both in the same game. You understand? So it's a little wicked. But Guapo's basically like, bro, isn't that what you wanted? But Kane in his head is like, no, nigga, I don't want them to fucking kill my. In his head, like you can see it, like I don't want these niggas to kill my family, like. So Kane rushing to the crib. He's rushing to the spot. He's rushing to the like the little diner that they sit at. You know what I mean? Rushing over there, boom, boom, boom. Whole time he's driving, damn mom, calling out. This is a mommy. This is a mama's boy moment, right? But mom is mad at him. So, Tariq gets there, whatever, to the spot, and you know he says to Monet, "I'm sorry, I don't have your product." But before this scene, you see Rico in the car driving. He says, "Wow, New York. It's been a minute." But then you see all these dudes around him in the car, strapping up, getting ready to go to war. Loading ammo. You see them getting ready. So now you could tell this is Rico. So, like I said, Kane's on the way. Tariq tells Monet, yo, I don't got your work. I had some shit to do. Take care of my mom. That's no excuse or whatever. So Tariq is like, yeah, you're right. I had to do something for my mom, you know, and it was her. So I broke your rules. So then Monet backs out. Boom. See, Monet backs out the hammer. She backed out that dang. She backed out that dang. See that right there? Boom. So Tariq is basically on some. So Diane like, yo, ma, hold on, no, you can't kill him, la la la. He got friends, he got family. You do that and make it hot. They gonna be looking for him. So Tariq like, nah, I deserve everything I got. I deserve everything I'm about to get. All the people I hurt. He starts going through flashbacks. You know what I mean? You know, I hurt. You know, Tommy telling him that you lied to me, stole from me. Keisha telling him like, yo, I've lied for you so many times, and you did me wrong, Tariq, and. You know, then the scene with his father, where he shot, you know, he's going through so much in his head, and that one split second, he was just like, yo, that is what it is, man. You gonna kill me, I accept my fate. It's too much. It's almost like he's getting tired, like it's draining him. Right? So Drew says, Mom, I think the drop is coming. I think they're outside. Be quiet. Monet's all caught up in her shit, looking at Tariq, like, deciding if she should shoot him. Tariq says, well, yeah, you know, it was too late. Even my father couldn't see it before it was too late. So then Monet looked like, what the hell did you say about your father? So Drew was like, yo, why are they not moving? He realizes, like, the drop is just, they just sitting there. So Monet realizes it that fast. Get on the floor. They drop. They start airing out the whole joint. You know how the bullets be going. I'm like, damn, they airing this shit. They airing this out, as they should. If they're on a mission, as they should. And you see Drew, like, I'm slide to the back, go grab a piece. When they like, nah. Not even 3 seconds later, Drew gets up, runs. He takes a few steps, and they hit him in the upper. They hit him in the upper back. Hit him. You see it. Shit, hit him, bang, right? Stops him immediately in his tracks. He falls. Monet, Drew. Just so happens at that time, when a person get hits, every show, they pull off, right? So they pull off. Kane pulls up. No, Drew. Kane runs in. Yo, what's up? What's going on, Diane? Or what's up? What's going on? He looks and he sees Drew, so he runs. Nah, Drew. So mom's like, yo, where was you? She backs out on him. Where was you? Mom, this wasn't me. So she's like, yo, take him to the car. I'll follow you. So picks him up, takes him to the car. Boom, right? Paula tells Tariq, right? This is this scene right here. Take all of this off the screen. This is that scene right there. Paula tells Tariq, you see her, she's serving him the papers. Those are the papers that she's serving him. She's serving him the papers for court, right? She shows him the video that they have of him at his father's grave, saying, yo, I'm sorry I had to do this, and he's admitting it. You know, that Davis can't represent him, and she gives him the papers or whatever. So Tariq says, why are you telling me this? Paul is telling him, like, yo, I no longer work for him, and I want to see you beat him. Now Tariq needs a new lawyer. So, now, back at the hospital, Monet is on the bench. Diane tells her Drew's in surgery. Kane comes out. Monet says, where were you? Kane says it was Rico. Diane smacked him. No, Kane. Rico did this because of you. You wasn't here. They tells him, yo, I got one thing to say to you, and I'm going to just say this one time. Run and get far away before I have to lay you down myself. And you see the little boy come out of him. He says, I'm your son just as much as Drew, Mom. You made me this way, Mom. She keeps walking. She won't say nothing to him. She turns around. She don't test me, boy. Keeps walking. I said, but Ma. He turns around, picks up the phone, and says, yo, we need to meet. I need your help. All right? So, next scene, Drew meets up. So, in the next scene, Kay meets up with the cop that Monet was messing with. So he says, yo, let's get to Reed. You know, the cop was like, yo, bro, your mom said you were stupid. She was right. Like, we can't worry about getting him right now. He's really not my problem. So then he tries to back out on Kane. Kane tries to reach, and he's like, yo, come on, man. You'll be dead before you. I'll just let her know that you tried to reach, and it'll definitely look like an accident. It'll give me more of a reason to kill you. Don't do that. So then Kane snuffs him. Boom. Gets the drop. Boom. Snuffs him. Cop drops the gun. Kane. Stop him right in his joint. Yakada. Because he's looking at him like, yo, bro, you really just backed out on me? Are you crazy? I just asked you to go fix a problem. Something that we agreed on. And you back out on me? Boom. Kicks him in the face. Boom. Grabs the gun. He's like, yo, Kane, don't do this. This is what the cop is saying. But it don't matter if you dating my mom. My mom is not rocking with you. My mom tried to push me out the picture. And you talking about Tariq's not the issue. I am. Clap, 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 clap. Clips him. Right? Next scene. You see right here. Here where we at? Where we at? Yo, these power. Yo, power. Where they at? Yo, power beaters. All right, so boom, next scene, right? You see the lawyer. You see her. You see Tamika. So he comes to, yo, Tamika, I need help. Tamika, I need help. He runs to her. Hands her the papers. She's like, she looks at it. She says, Knox knows. He's calling you to the stand. She thinks for a second or two. She's like, yo, you know what? Give me $1. Reaches in his pocket. Boom. You see the dollar bill right there. He hands her $1. Right? She says, now I am your attorney. Anything you say to me is protected by attorney-client privileges. Now, Tariq, did you or did you not kill your father? Tariq stops, has a moment to himself, looks around. Looking around. Got a moment to himself. Right? Start thinking about it. You know what? Yes. Yes, I did. But not because I'm a monster. Because he is a monster. Tariq, I understand that, but Tariq says, listen, it doesn't, none of this matters. Nothing matters. I did it. And when he calls me to the stand, I am going to confess. Yes, that's what Tariq said. I'm ready to confess. Now, before I slide out, been on here talking. Right? Tariq is playing this game so wicked right now. I want to tell y'all something, right? Because Tariq can admit to killing his father and say Saxe knows because he was there at Truth. Saxe is out of a job. Tariq can admit to the things that he knows Davis wasn't supposed to be doing. Davis is out of a job. Check. Tariq says, hey, I killed my dad because XYZ. I was under pressure from this and this person. Check. Somebody else goes down. And if you see the look on Tariq's face in the preview to the next episode, he's on the bench, on the stand, with a grin on his face, like this. You should see the look on Tariq. The grin that he has on his face is like, yo, he knows something. Like, he's ready. I look forward to his next episode, man. Because just as bad as they trying to bring Tariq down, the minute that he goes and tells on himself, truth, is that a key word? Is the name of his father's club the key word in the show? Truth? Right? We're going to see what happens, man. I appreciate y'all. This is That Power, Book 2, Ghost, Episode 9, Monster. Recap and review. I'll be back. I'll be back with that season finale. I will be. Please leave your comments, leave your questions, anything you guys have to say. Leave it down in the comment section. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, please, because you know YouTube is very backed up on views. For some reason, a lot of people aren't receiving notifications. A lot of YouTubers, my views are totally backed up. They're telling me I have views backed up for weeks. So please make sure, like I said, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and always leave a comment, leave a question, and let me know how you feel about this. Love, life, and loyalty is the motto. Stay safe, stay real, and stay true. You guys have been rocking with me. I'm going to continue to rock with you. BattleThon 2020 is almost over. Y'all be safe, man. Be safe. Make sure you're ready for this next year. I got a lot for y'all. 1.